Hi guys, I want to thank you for checking out my channel today, Sophia in Life. I want to come on here real quick. I know you're busy, but if you could just give me a couple of minutes to discuss some problems that I have with the medical examiner's decision regarding Kenneka Jenkins' death. Now late last night, I read that he came to the conclusion that she died of exposure, which that really was no surprise to me. I knew she was in a freezer, so that part wasn't a surprise to me. The surprise to me was, and that also wasn't a surprise, was that she had medication in her system also. And the combination of that medication and the alcohol is where I have a problem at. Joshua, if you want to go ahead and explain to them what the medication was that they found in her system and what exactly it does.
So the medical examiner, the coroner, basically said that she had alcohol in her system. I believe the amount was, what was it, 0.118?
Yes.
0.118. The legal limit is 0.08. And then she also had a prescription drug in her system, which is topiramate. It is for people who suffer from epilepsy or excessive migraines. Basically, the side effects for these drugs aren't great as it is, and the combination of alcohol basically would have thrown her body into a bad chemical reaction. I'm going to go ahead and list off some of these side effects, and then you'll get more understanding on the video and exactly what she was going through at that time. The side effects for topiramate is anxiety, ataxia, which means impaired balance or coordination, confusion, diarrhea, diplopia, which is double vision, dizziness, drowsiness, fatigue, lack of concentration, memory impairment, nausea, nervousness, paresthesia, psychomotor disturbance, basically meaning that her brain's not translating properly to her body the correct motor skills, depression, and visual disturbance. So what we can take away from all of this is that her memory was affected, her vision was affected, and her motor skills were affected by this drug.
Now, I want to do a correction because here on this channel, we're not going to be giving no, false information, and we have no intent to do so. So the alcohol level was 0.112, which was higher than the legal limit of 0.08. And with the description of the medication that Joshua gave, if you go back and look at my video when I first saw it and I was upset, I had already commented that I knew Kenneka, I don't know why I have a problem with this, but I already knew that she didn't just have alcohol in her system. I mean, her body movements kind of made me feel like something else is off here. That's not a girl who's just intoxicated. No way.
No.
The thing that surprises me, though, is the type of drug that was found in her system. It's a drug, like Joshua indicated through his description, is meant for someone who has epilepsy or migraines. Now, according to Kenneka's mother and sister, Kenneka didn't have a history of epilepsy, nor did she have a history of having migraine headaches. So my question for the viewers, where did the medicine come from? By the medical examiner ruling it as an accident, I have a problem with that because I can understand you saying it's an accident that she died of exposure, being in a freezer, freezing to death, but how do you rule it as an accident if you don't know exactly where the
medicine came from?
Yeah. How do you come to that conclusion? To me, they're professionals, and I don't want to act like I'm stepping over my boundaries, like I know more than them, but I may not have the level of experience that they have, but I have common sense. And common sense tells me that if you have a young girl who's drinking alcohol, who according to her mother can't handle alcohol very well, neither one of them can, and then she has in her system medication that she should not have had access to since she didn't have those symptoms, how did you come to the conclusion that it was I know they said in the medical examiner's report that he felt that the medicine with alcohol is still was within the limits, but I have a problem with, regardless of if it was within the limits, where did she get it from?
Well, I mean, also we have to keep in mind too, when I look up this particular drug, topiramate, the first thing that came up was do not under any circumstances take with alcohol. I know a lot of drugs say that, but this one they really emphasize no alcohol with this drug, and it really does seem like it was a terrible chemical reaction to the alcohol and topiramate. So we do have to ask ourselves how this young girl came across it if she was never prescribed any drug, or if she was never given a prescription for topiramate. Did she get it from one of the people who were at the party? It's possible. It is possible that people came with party favors and was like, here, take this. I mean, we've reached a time period in the U.S. where it's a pretty bad epidemic of people taking prescription medication, but not having it prescribed by a doctor and just taking it for fun, taking it for recreation. And if that be the case here, it's a very tragic tale. It's a very tragic tale.
And that's true. But I still come back to me, by no means does this close what happened to her. Because until you get to the point of how did she obtain access to medicine that required a prescription? Whose mother, whose father, whose sister, whose brother, needed that type of medication, but it somehow found its way into the system of a girl who it wasn't prescribed for. If you look at that video, it surprises me the name and the type of medicine that was found in her system. No, it does not surprise me that medicine was, running into walls. The tremors that I mentioned in a previous video, that wasn't normal. Running into a stairway, almost about to flip over. Okay? And if you still put it together, if you put it as an accident, I feel that gives it an opportunity to close the case and then we're done. But there's still the questions that have not been resolved. How long was she in the freezer? Who gave her that medicine? If she was around her friends, how did they not know that she was behaving in the manner that she was? We all can see her. We're strangers. We were introduced to Kenneka Jenkins by a video, right? They were there with her. How did they not know that something was off with their friend?
I don't understand. All right, if you got friends that it just doesn't really seem like she had really good friends at this party. She is taking alcohol. She's taking this medication that she wasn't prescribed. How did nobody see her? How did nobody see that there's something off about our friend? There's something off about our homegirl. Where'd she go? Where's she at? What's she doing? With as many people that were in the room.
If she left her keys, her mother's car keys, and all of her items with them, what would make them think, just because they couldn't find her, that's a large hotel, what made them think that she wandered away from the hotel? Why wouldn't you think, especially if you work there, why wouldn't you think she's still on the premises? If you were the last ones with her, you knew good blanking well that girl just did not walk home. You know what I mean? You can look at her and tell that she didn't have the capability of walking a straight line. How long did she stay in that freezer? How long was she in that freezer from the moment that her mother came to the hotel and said, my daughter is missing? I haven't heard that. I mean, just saying that she died from exposure, okay, but they don't know how long she would have had to. Even the guy from the Titanic survived with as much alcohol as he had in his system. But yet, this girl went into a freezer, and as I've stated before, she didn't just drop. Not with a 0.112 level. She did not just drop.
That would take time. That would be over a period of time. But I mean, it explains to us how somebody could go into a freezer and then might not be able to see themselves out.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
If she has impaired motor skills, if visual disturbance, double vision, memory impairment, she can't even grasp the reality of the situation. 9 times out of 10, she didn't even know what was going on. You know, it could have been like a dream state. It could have been, you see what I'm saying? To where her presence of mind isn't there. And, you know, we see that with a lot of street drugs. And I mean, one, the topiramate, it seems from the documents that we've pulled up, it is a terrible chemical reaction once you start to mix alcohol with this particular drug. I mean, it's a powerful drug used for people who are epileptic, who have epilepsy.
And like I said, so then that makes me come back to the medical examiner. If that medical examiner says it's an accident, then what are the chances that the police are going to come, you know, after him and rule it a death? You
there's 0% chance.
So it's basically being closed, but I still don't understand how he came to the conclusion that it was an accident if nobody is saying how she got that drug in her system. Where did she get the prescription from? How did she get it? Did she take it on her own? All of these questions are not being answered. And unfortunately, I don't think they will. I don't think they'll ever be answered. But
it's a very sad situation. It's a very sad tale. I mean, I understand that these people wanted to just get together. This group of friends wanted to just get together at the hotel, have a good time, party. But I mean, this is when partying goes wrong. This is when, you know,
and I hope
being around certain people goes wrong.
I hope everybody at that party learned a lesson. Unfortunately, Kenneka learned the worst lesson out of everybody. You know, all I can say to people watching this video is talk to your kids. Talk to your kids. You know, sometimes it's so hard. It is so hard how much you have to fight up against to keep your kids from doing stuff like this. But you gotta never stop. You gotta always keep talking to them. And you know, we have things unfortunately that happen that we're supposed to learn from. And if you don't learn from this, I don't know what to tell you. One, learn who your true friends are. Yeah. Girls, lesson, never leave your friend alone. Even if you leave something behind, if there are 4, 5, 6, 10 of you, there should be enough that stay in a group, in a cluster. There's no reason for one individual to be left by themselves. Even if it's a one-on-one, one person is there, never leave your friend. If it's 2 people, you both go at the same time. You never, ever leave your friend by themselves. And whereas we're on here and we're giving all of these questions and things that are not being resolved, somebody knows. Somebody knows the truth. Somebody knows the truth because y'all were all together. Somebody saw how that medicine got into that alcohol that she was drinking.
Yeah, but
somebody knows who it came from. Somebody knows who supplied it.
No one's gonna admit it because no one wants to be the person blamed for her death.
Then I have a problem when people go on there and they're like, Kenneka, my friend, and we're here for justice, and you in that room and then you want to pretend like you don't know what happened. You know what happened.
Yeah, but I mean,
you know what happened. And
this situation sadly occurs a lot. The only difference is the combination of the alcohol and the prescription drug led her into going into a freezer. But if this girl would have just overdosed, the crazy part is those friends would be responsible. You see what I'm saying? Because they were at a party and they were also taking the same things with her. We don't know what they were taking at the party. I don't believe police have released that or really much about
we're not gonna know
statements or anything. I think that the department is probably just gonna take what the coroner has said, use it as an excuse to shut things down and close the case. But I mean, I still do feel like Kenneka Jenkins' mother deserves more answers than
she deserves the truth.
What she's been given. So
especially with that medicine, even if you want to say that wasn't the cause, I don't know how it wasn't the cause and effect along with the alcohol.
There's no way that without that chemical reaction that she walks into a freezer by herself and can't find her way out. So I mean, the viewers, the people watching this channel, we already knew that it couldn't have just been alcohol.
Absolutely.
So that one thing, that one question that we have has been confirmed. It wasn't just alcohol. It was a chemical reaction of the topiramate and alcohol. It was a chemical reaction. They did not work well together in her system, and it started to break down her vision and memory and motor coordination skills all simultaneously. And it's sad. It is very sad that this situation occurred. It's sad that a mother is never going to see her daughter again. A family's never going to see their loved one again, and that the reality of the situation is they may never have the answers that they're looking for. We might not have the answers. It's very sad.
This channel is for, I set it up, like I said, for grown folks, to have grown folks discussion. But if you are a young person and you're watching this, please learn. Please learn from this lesson. And mamas and dads always just love them. Just love your babies. But I thank you all for viewing this video today. You're busy. I know you're busy, but you're taking out the time to listen to my opinion and Josh's opinion, and we really do appreciate it. If you are a subscriber, I really thank you for sticking with me, and I want to give a shout out to Careful Keith. He's always commented and is always watching my videos, and I appreciate him. I appreciate the rest of you subscribers. If you are not subscribed to this channel, Sophia in Life, please hit that subscription button. We'd appreciate it. More importantly, even if you decide not to, if you could go down below and leave a comment and let us know what you think, whether you agree with us or if you don't agree with us.
It's always appreciated.
Hey, definitely make us think, as I say. Anyways, don't forget to check out my baby's channel and subscribe. What's your channel, Josh?
It is GOAT times 10. That is GOATX10. That's YouTube and Instagram. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll check you out next time, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Bye.